start to turn it around.
If we all could love one another, all the world could be as one. Just take time to love one another, all the world could be as one. Black man, white man, standing together, no more fighting to be done. Yellow, red man, dancing together, all the world could be as one.
And good morning. Welcome to Heal DC. This is Joni, and you'll be hearing from Chuck a little later in the show. Today is Monday. Good morning, Chuck. Today is Monday, December 11th, and we're going to be focusing today on the issue of DC youth violence. We're going to be hearing from young people, sharing from the heart, and we're going to be doing a special tribute to poet JENARI Mitchell, who some of you may remember from earlier this year and last year. She is a poet from Southeast DC. She is moving to the other side of the country on tomorrow. So we want to give a little tribute to JENARI and give her a little extra time. We're going to be focusing today on something called the Week of Healing. And I'd like to welcome onto the airwaves Chanel to let us know about the Week of Healing and tell us a little bit about yourself, Chanel. Yeah. Good morning.
Roswell, how you feeling today? Thank you for having us. My name's Chanel Cheney, and I'm the owner of Bow Yoga. So yeah, we're having a Week of Healing. We kicked it off yesterday. We're healing from Black women's health with Peace Fellowship at Idea High School, and the rest of the week we'll have healing from grief tomorrow. Today is healing from grief. Healing from illiteracy is today, and healing from grief is tomorrow. Healing from homelessness, healing from gun violence is Thursday, healing from incarceration is Friday, and then on Saturday we'll have a celebration at the Anacostia Art Center.
Wow. And what inspired you, or tell us a little bit about why you're doing this and the group of people that's working with you?
Yes. So the Week of Healing was inspired from the Day of Healing. And that was after I had lost my sister about two years ago. And the holiday season had become really hard for me. And I figured if it was hard for me, then it had to be hard for other people. So I had wound up partnering with the Trigger Project and Guns Down Friday. And it just kind of grew from there. And then about last year, I partnered with Fernando. He was working for Building Blocks at the time. And we both wanted to bring a lot of the organizations that was in the city together. So we brought over 40 organizations together, and we kicked off the first Week of Healing a year ago. And it was a great success. And we seen like a lot of what came out of it. You know, a lot of growth came out of it. A lot of people started working together that weren't previously working together. A lot of egos was able to be dismantled for us to start to work together. So it was a very powerful week. So we wanted to keep it going, and we have it twice a year, one in the wintertime and one in the summertime, because that's where, you know, the violence and the crime start to really go up during those times.
Absolutely. And Chanel, tell us a little bit more about yourself. And we've had your mother on the radio last year. We did with Tyrone Parker a whole series throughout December on gun violence, and your mom was very much a part of that. But tell us about your mom. She's also been doing very important work in this area of gun violence.
Yes. Well, yes, my mother is LaShonia Thompson-Neal, which is the founder of the Warrior, Women Involved in Reentry Efforts. And she's the whole reason how I wound up getting into healing and to begin with, right? She introduced me to healing circles. She paid me to go. I guess she could see that I could use the healing. And then after that, I just was craving it on my own and started to take on my own ways of healing. And, you know, I've been kind of like a silent person in her ear as well, just like as far as what's going on in the community and being able like to help and what we can use in the community as a mom in the community. When Critter Streets first came, I was one of the moms that advocated for it because my kids were going to Henley at the time, and it was Henley sit right in between 4th and 6th Street, and it was a beef going on, and every time a shooting happened, the school was shut down. So that school was shut down 47 times that year. So it was a lot of violence that was happening around the school, but nobody was doing nothing. Nobody was checking on the kids. Nobody was like, it was just like being ignored. And she was working for OAG, and I would like, complain and just like advocate, and we started to see change from there.
And this week of healing, so yes, your mom is very important, the work that she does, and we're thankful we've had her on. We'll have her on again, of course. Tell us how people can find out about the week of healing if they're interested in joining you sometime this week. How can they find out?
Yes, so they could go to the website, which is www.nwoh.org, or they can go to my Instagram, which is bo_yoga_LLC. And that's like one of the way, all the updated information will be on the website.
Okay, so let's give the website again. So the letters that you give stands for the week of healing, correct?
It stands for the National Week of Healing. So it is a national effort. In the past summertime, we had people from New York that was a part, Virginia. We had few people in Maryland, South Carolina. So it was a few places that was also involved. So it's NWOH.org, which stands for the National Week of Healing.
Okay, so if people want more information, NWOH.org, and this is a group of young people, right? Chanel, you're all young people putting together this week of healing. I want to ask Damien if you wanted to say anything before we move into our next section with poet JENARI. If not Damien, then Fernando.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Joni, for putting on this show this morning to acknowledge the National Week of Healing. I've come in contact, I met Charnel about 2 months ago, and just the work that she's doing around bringing forth, organizing, and this is the conversations around cooperatives. So the piece on the Week of Healing, Charnel, I would like to ask you, and something that we have spoken about, and is this something that y'all will be doing? Like, so after the Week of Healing, will you all be like thinking about like strategies on how y'all can expand this for next year? I would probably just ask that question to you, Charnel. And I know we have some conversations about it, but is that something that y'all are putting into plans?
Okay, I don't know if Chanel can jump back in. Or Fernanda, we're going to come back at the end of the program to hear again from Chanel, and I'm going to just again announce that we're going to be spending the next 20 minutes honoring and giving a big applause to JENARI Mitchell, a DC poet. And then once JENARI shares her poetry and her words of wisdom, we're going to also talk to some other community people involved with the Week of Healing. We're going to be speaking to a young person by the name of Gary. Fernando, who's very much involved with the organizing, as well as LaShawn Johns, who's also doing great work. So we're going to move right now into we're going to give JENARI our imaginary drum roll. Some of you may remember hearing JENARI earlier this year and last year. I just wanted to say that I met JENARI. It was a year ago last November, and it was in a tragic situation where my dear friend James Sherd, who I've known for many decades, lost his son, I shouldn't say lost. His son was killed, murdered by the DC police. And his name is Kevin. Kevin Sherd. I met Kevin when he was 7 years old. He was 31 years old when he was murdered by the police, shot in the back. And so we were having a tribute for Kevin on his birthday. And at that event, I walked up to JENARI, and then we became very close. So I'm thankful to have met JENARI, a very, very gifted poet. We've asked her to not only share some of her work, but tell us a little bit about your life, JENARI. Again, tomorrow she's moving to LA. So this is not exactly a goodbye, but a tribute. So JENARI Mitchell, welcome.
Hey, Joni. Thanks for having me again.
It's great to have you. So hopefully you can share at least 2, maybe 3 of your poems, but tell the listeners a little bit about you, your life, and what inspired you to become a poet.
So my name is JENARI Mitchell. I'm a 24-year-old poet and IT professional from Southeast Washington, D.C. I've always been an outspoken child growing up in D.C. And since I grew up in Southeast, I was around the violence and the corruption going on in our communities, but I was also around the politics. So I was able to see both sides, and I always spoke out about it. Like, I started out as an activist protesting in DC, going to sit on different panels, just going anywhere to use my voice. And then I had got a full ride to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Well, basically a full ride. I was only coming out of pocket $215 a semester out of a $71,000 a year school. And I went there to study computer science. But while I was there, it was like my dreams was crushed because I went to a predominantly white institution and realized how much racism still exists. So after I left that school, I felt really defeated, and I just started writing poetry. Like, I started putting everything that I was saying, my advocacy work, into poetry, and people are more receptive to it now.
Absolutely. We are. And you want to start with a particular poem you'd like to share?
Yes, I have a poem called Author's Purpose that I want to share.
Sure. Let's hear it.
I ain't no performer, I'm the Southeast Informer. I ain't just an artist, I'm an artivist, and my activism ain't performative. I speak to encourage and be informative. I don't sugarcoat, I say exactly what it is. So don't expect no entertainment when you see me. Don't expect no sugar-coated version of my pain when I'm speaking. I don't put on shows because where I'm from, they get shot up no matter if it's daytime or evening. I don't got time for fun because the gunman ain't laughing behind the gun. This year's recognition was my reignition. I stopped writing because people made me think I wasn't good enough, so I had to remember I don't take commissions. I write for me and my intended audience, but this ain't no audition. I'm on a mission to save my city. So when I speak all facts. Take notes, so you better run it back because I just be giving it to y'all off the top. I won't stop talking about gun violence until the gun violence stops, because we live in a city where 6-year-old Naya Courtney could get shot, and the mayor's response is still more cops. The same cops that ran down on Deon K on his own block and illegally chased Karan Hilton, leaving his daughter without her pops. Cops can't make the gun violence stop if the cops are where the gunmen go to shop. Defund the cops and refund the community, and get rid of qualified immunity so they can finally be held responsible for killing so many Black people, including our kids, before they hit puberty. We got little kids reading little kids' eulogies. So when I write for my community. When I write for more opportunities. When I write for unity, and I do it beautifully.
Yes, you do it beautifully, JENARI Mitchell. We're very proud of you. And I can't help by saying, but in a country that is spending billions of dollars to kill, now it's almost 18,000 people over there in Gaza, including 7,000 children, babies. It's no wonder that this is happening in Washington, D.C. So we're very proud that you're speaking up and being the poet that you are. Do you want to, I know you have several other poems I've heard. I don't know which one you want to do next. Maybe Boom Boom?
Okay, I could do Long Live the Boom.
Yes.
I started writing again in 2019 when I lost Corey, my high school friend. I've lost a lot of family and friends to this gun violence that seems to have no end. But this time they stole my twin, my cousin, but my birthday twin. We didn't meet at birth, but when we did, we were locked in. Boom, boom, where you been? I've missed you and I miss all of them. I've met so many black boys that I didn't get to meet as black men. I've had my heart crushed so much and now it's happening again. They keep telling me it'll get better, so I keep asking when. All you ever hear is silence then. They told me not to bring a knife to a gunfight, but I showed up with my pen. Now I keep writing the same story again and again. So much that I know my twin didn't die, he was born again. They tried to take him from this world and ended up giving it to him. This boom boom's world now that we all just living in. Life keeps giving me lemons, but I ain't giving in. I'm not just writing these poems, I'm actually living them. I said this is boom boom's world now that we all just living in. A life as great as his doesn't just end. I've been stopped asking why and just start asking when. When will it be my death that the world asks y'all to take on the chin? Stop taking stuff on the chin and take it in. Process it, then get back up again. Our lives started at the same time, and now I have to watch y'all bury him. We were both born on September 27th, 1999, and now I have to watch y'all bury him. We just entered what they call our Jordan year. A few days later, my twin lost his life to one of my greatest fears. I was so scared that when I was writing poems for my birthday, I stopped every time I wrote I'm 23 because I didn't know if I would make it here. So many of my friends didn't. So many of my friends had their lives stolen while I'm still living. I cried my fire out a couple times because I can't tell if I got years left or minutes. Y'all might take my fire, but you'll never take my light because that's within us. And Boom Boom's light is so bright. Don't go hide in the darkness, live in his light, honor his life, and go shine your own light. I know y'all mad, and I know y'all sad. I know more than anyone that stuff like this can make the good turn so bad. But I've lost so many people way before I expected to that I had to learn to enjoy the good times we had. You can't just sit around waiting for the pain to pass. You have to let yourself feel it to get past it. He deserved the world and now he has it. I can't find him anywhere in this world because he is everywhere. Everywhere he wants and needs to be. Have all the fun, but save some to have with me. It's long live Boom Boom and it forever will be. So on the count of 3, I need everybody in this room to scream long live the boom. 1, 2, 3. Long live the
boom. Yes, that's JENARI Mitchell. And we're very proud of her. Native Washingtonian, born in Southeast DC. Tomorrow she is moving to the other side of this country out there in California. And that's why this is, in addition to other things, this is definitely a program in tribute to JENARI as a wonderful poet. We have a few more minutes before we move into talking with some other people from the community involved with the Week of Healing. But JENARI, if someone asked you, what do you think the city could do? Or what could be different if it was up to you to reduce some of this killing in this city? What would you, if you were the mayor, what would you do?
I would say, I've been saying a lot for so many years, and honestly, some of the solutions that I had in the past were too far past that being an immediate solution. But I would say immediately, my people, Black people in DC, need to get serious about what's going on here and serious about what needs to be done to fix it. Nobody outside of us is coming to save us. Our people back in the day knew it, which is why we had Black Panthers and a MOVE organization in Philly and different Black liberation movements. We were feeding each other, we were taking care of each other, and we were protecting each other. And this country that we're waiting on to come save us intentionally dismantled those organizations to put us where we are today. So I would say my people need to get serious. Stop partying off of our own demise, like listening to drill music, what I call now kill music. Like, we got to get serious. The music needs to stop. The beef needs to stop. And us ignoring it needs to stop and trying to focus on American dreams. The dream should, just like we always preach how MLK had a dream. Somebody just asked me to perform at the festival on his birthday next year, but we never really follow it. Like, his dream still isn't here. We're still getting judged and mistreated by the color of our skin. And we're celebrating as if that isn't happening. It's time for us to get serious like our people did in the past. We have to take care of each other or nobody will.
Yes, and
I have one more piece.
Yes, well, let me just comment and what you just said. Chuck and I last week with Dr. Greg Carr, we spent an hour talking about the Montgomery bus boycott, which everyone's heard about Rosa Parks. But what people have not heard about is the organizing that went on, the coming together of the community to keep, yes, Rosa Parks sat down on December 1st on that bus, but on December 5th, 40,000 Black people in Montgomery, Alabama did not ride the bus. The strike went on for 381 days. The only reason I'm mentioning is that we have to learn from these victories that happened in the past. Yes, it was the Black Panthers, but it was also other movements that you will never hear about because the powers that be, yes, they'll talk about Rosa Parks, but they won't talk about the mobilizing. And that's where Dr. King started. JENARI, he started in Montgomery, Alabama. He wasn't talking about any dream. He was talking about changing those buses. So I just had to share that. Okay, JENARI, your last poem you'd like to share.
How much time do we have?
Well, we have a few minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay, because I wanted to add another piece to what I said.
Sure.
It's the kids, it's the youth that's mostly leading the beef right now, but it was the adults that allowed this world to be created for them. Like, it's not, everyone is just blaming the youth for what's going on, but no one is looking at what is happening to them. Like, COVID wiped out the entire world that we was faking existed before. And now all they have is violence. All they have to look up to is violence. They don't have any resources. And all they have outside of that is people telling them to continue to go to school and continue to fight for the dreams that they are already seeing is not realistic. So I would say, stop blaming the kids and start listening to them and start supporting them. But that's all that I have to say. Absolutely. And also, not only is America not coming back, there's not another MLK coming back. We all need to find the Black leader within ourselves. It's going to take all of us. I'm not coming to save the city by myself.
Absolutely.
I have to help.
Absolutely, JENARI. Very beautifully said. You're right. You have your one last poem. Yes. Sure.
This poem is called We Just Trying to Grow Up. When we were younger, they told us not to grow up too fast. But in the hood, we never had that chance. See, a lot of us ain't living to see 18, let alone 21. So we don't have a choice but to grow up fast, like how life came at us, running through the hood, searching for answers, looking up to God, begging that he answers us. Like, why my friends keep dying? Why these mothers keep crying? God, I'm trying really hard to hang on, but I can't find enough reasons to live anymore. You're taking all of mine. And if you need them more, just let me know. Please give me a reason so that I can let go. Because I'm starting to lose hope and accept my fate that in a few months, my mother might be putting me in my grave. Don't grow up too fast. I wish I didn't have to. But you don't get to be a child when you don't have enough friends to play with you on the playground because you have to watch so many of them go on the ground. Now you're sitting on your end of the seesaw, knowing that your friends then will forever be in the air. While you stuck on the ground, you try to push yourself up, but it's way too much pain holding you down. You don't get to be a child when there are more drugs in the hood than candy, and you line up every day trying to control your anxiety. Anxiety? What's that? Don't you dare say that. You want to get smacked? You want these people to think you crazy. You want these people to think I don't take care of my baby. You don't get to be a child when you have seen more in your few years than most will see in their entire lifetime. But you better not let anyone see you crying. Ain't nothing wrong with you. I've been through way more than you. So I don't want to hear not another word from you. Okay, I'm sorry for being so weak. I just wanted to talk about all the things that have been haunting me in my sleep. You don't get to be a child where I'm from. You don't get to be a child when the city doesn't care enough to keep pedophiles away from Black kids. So within just a half-mile radius, there are 49 sex offenders on the list. And every day you have to walk past grown men that want to experience your body before you even know you have one. You walked a long way now. So many men complimented you on your Barbie girl dress that you can't even put it on now. You don't get to be a child when you're carrying around a pocket knife, mentally preparing yourself to take a life in order to save your own, because every day you living in fear that you won't make it home. You don't get to be a child when you can't wear your favorite color outside because a gang claimed it. And if they see you, you dead. Because the color of your clothes can get a bullet put in your head. The color of your skin can get a bullet put in your head. The block you were raised on can get a bullet put in your head. Those nice shoes you got on can get a bullet put in your head. The gender you fell in love with can get a bullet put in your head. DC ain't the same anymore. DC, Death City. DC, don't come, because my city don't shine anymore. And shield casings. We ain't going to art school and painting. We out there cleaning our friends' blood off the pavement. Half of my friends went off to college and the other half went in caskets. It's crazy because we were all just in high school, going high to school. Because even though my friend died yesterday, I couldn't afford to be late. I had a test that day. So I showed up, even though my mind was torn up. In the hood, we ain't trying to grow up fast. We just trying to grow up.
JENARI Mitchell, we are very proud of you. We are wishing you blessings and all the best as you move across to California, but we know you'll still be with us. We're going to have you on again, but we want to give you this tribute today as you're getting ready to leave tomorrow. JENARI Mitchell, DC poet.
Thank you.
And JENARI, stay with us as we're going to be talking to folks from the community who you know. And this is part of the week of healing that Chanel talked about earlier. You're listening to WPFW 89.3 FM. This is Joni with Chuck, and we're going to hear from Chuck at the end of the show about his toy drive. But now we're getting ready to talk to 3 people, or maybe even 4. Fernando Smith, Gary Thomas, who's a young person in school, and LaShawn Johns. And I think Gary also may have his brother jump on with us.
Yeah, my brother Robert is with me.
Yes, and we know you're going to sing a song in a moment, but let me just start with Fernando. Welcome, Fernando.
Welcome. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for having me on.
We're very happy to have you on. So tell us, as we start this segment of the program, tell us about the Week of Healing and why you're excited about it. And well, I'm sorry. Actually, tell us a little bit about you, Fernando, before you tell us.
Okay. First of all, I'd just like to say thanks, JENARI, man, for setting the stage with such powerful poems and expressing herself the way that she did. That was great. I'm a champion of transformation. Basically, I got caught up in the crack area in the 80s. And I was once part of the problem that now finds it my obligation to be part of the solution. I went through all the different things that we heard about, that she spoke about in that. I was shot in the head by a police officer. Since the age of 11, I experienced more than 20 years incarcerated. My last incarceration was in the federal prison system, where I did 13 years. From that point, I realized that I was working on the wrong side of the team. I saw so many of my people being depressed and hurt and killed. Most of my friends was lost, and most of the people that I associated with either got life in prison or was dead. I found myself after experiencing 13 years in prison, that I needed to do a radical change that I had started while I was in prison. So I went to school, became a college graduate, and then once Linda Harley Harper introduced building blocks, she was appointed the director of building blocks. She recruited me as one of the experts, because she realized that in order for us to find solutions that was going on to gun violence in the community, that the community is the one that had the answer, that we could not continue to utilize or think that some answer was going to come from someplace else, that all of the answers was in the community. And she felt and convinced me at that time to join her team, because she understood the significance of coming to solutions from the people that had already experienced many of the traumas that were still going on.
Absolutely. And you've been doing a very important work, and we're proud of you. We're proud of you, Fernando. We're happy you could join us today. And I just want to give a shout out. We have a special person listening, Dory Ladner, who is from Mississippi, involved with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And some of you young people may not know about SNCC, but SNCC was an organization of young people. So she's back home listening to us and cheering you on. So good morning, Dory. Okay, let's move on to a little bit. Let's hear from LaShawn Johns, and perhaps she may want to help introduce Gary Thomas. But there's some good work being done in D.C. We should say that. There's a lot of problems, but there's also some sheroes and heroes doing some good work in support of the youth, including people who actually listen to the young people, as we're doing this morning. And LaShawn has going to briefly tell us about the work that she does with something called Creating Safe Spaces. Good morning, LaShawn Johns.
Good morning, Miss Joni. Thanks for having me. And so yes, my name is LaShawn Johns. I am affiliated with Creating Safe Space, which is a nonprofit organization serving youth in Ward 7 and 8, where we just lead with love, learn the individuality of the individual, connecting them with resources that will help impact their life and make better decisions for their future.
And LaShawn Johns is being very modest. I've seen her in the brief moments that I've seen her. She actually shares a lot of love and support. It's not just words. She actually supports the young people, listens to them, and cares about them. And I'm sure the people we're going to introduce now will attest to that. So let's bring on Gary Thomas. And LaShawn, do you want to help? If you'd like to say anything about Gary before he jumps in, or he can speak for himself.
He can speak for himself.
How y'all doing?
Okay, Gary, welcome.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we hear a little baby maybe in the background.
Yeah.
Tell us how old you are, Gary.
So my name is Gary Thomas, and I'm 19 years old. I'm a young male from Washington, D.C., Southeast. I've been on this journey with Miss LaShawn, as Miss Joni told you guys. We've been going around creating safe space. Before I met her, my life was I was in a little bit of a rough patch. But now I'm out here spreading positivity, speaking on panels and everything. We've been helping me get back in school because I was actually involved in like some kind of confrontation when I was attending school, and it resulted in me in getting taken out of DC public charter schools. But working with Mr. Sean, she was able to get me back in school, and yeah, it's been great.
And how you doing in school now?
Currently, I'm doing wonderful in school. I won't say the school, but I'm doing good in there. It's at my pace. I'm in a program where as though I can go virtual, whereas though I can learn from my computer, or I can go in the building and I need help, and everything is absolutely at my pace.
Wow, that's really good news. And I'm going to ask you two more questions. What would you, if you were in charge, if you were the mayor, or if you had a big say-so in what was happening here in this city, what are one or two things you'd like to see that would support the young people more and help to stop the gun violence?
Well, as a youth myself, and if I was a mayor of Washington, D.C., I would say I would try to find a way to give the teens more legal ways to make money, because a lot of the kids are just going to school, coming from school, trying to get jobs, but can't really get jobs because it'll have certain barriers. Like for me, I didn't even have an idea at the time before me and Mr. Sean, so a job wasn't even on the table for me. And a lot of people just having free time to make the wrong mistake. So if it was more job opportunities out here for the kids and more ways for them to make honest and legal money, then I feel like a lot of the violence would double down.
Yes, I hear you. What about things to do? What about the recreation centers and things like basketball or things to positive things? Do you think there should be more support for
Me,
youth?
I would say opening up a few more recs and basketball courts, because me and my brothers, we actually enjoy playing basketball. We actually go around our neighborhood, playing football games with the kids in the neighborhood. If we actually had a football field or like someone that can sponsor that or get us like equipment, because a lot of the people want to play in equipment and have fun and tackle by playing football, but do it in a safe way. So I would fund like getting football fields, more basketball courts, recreation centers with a lot of things for the youth to do after school.
Absolutely. And maybe we should also think about some things that the young sisters would like to do. If anyone has suggestions on that. I know Double Dutch is still a thing, I think, in
Yeah, double
DC.
dutch is still a thing. You can open up a girls club. Like yesterday, I was just participating in the Women's National Week of Healing. The young youth, female wise, they could have came there as well. It was an absolute vibe.
Yes, but things that the city could do to, as you say, you shared some ideas that I know the brothers would like, but also some other ideas that would reach different people. And basketball is one. But again, the mayor, I know if Marion Barry was here, and he is here in spirit, he would be talking to the young people about what is needed and really listening. Gary, would you like to introduce your brother? And I know you're both going to sing a song for us if you're still up for that.
Yeah. I'm right here. How y'all doing today? My name is Robert. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Washington D.C. and I have a little song I just want to present to y'all.
Sure. And what's the name of the song? Maybe Gary could.
So basically, the name of the song is "There She Go." I made this song like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And, yeah. Hold on. There she go, always trying to hit the door, but I just need you here for some more. So why you leave me while I'm begging you, just please don't go. There she go, always trying to hit the door, but I just need you here for some more. So why you leave me while I'm begging you, just please don't go. Cause time after time, lie after lie, I don't wanna waste your time, cause love is more than just some time. I know I'm wrong, but I seem right. But you can't keep your past the tie that's holding us from what we got. Do you care or do you not? There she go, always trying to hit the door, but I just need you here for some more. So why you leave me while I'm begging you, just please don't go.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking it would be a song on gun violence, but that's great. Usually we listened to the song before, but I said to Gary you could jump right in. We have about 5 more minutes left before we make some final announcements. Fernando, did you want to jump back in and have any comments, or LaShawn Johns?
No, thank you for the opportunity. No, I just wanted to jump back in on some of the things that we need to realize is that some of the same issues that we're dealing with now are issues that we've been dealing with for the past 30 years during the time when I was coming up.
Absolutely.
And I find that getting to those solutions, man, is pragmatic and understanding that we need to hear from the youth and we need to gain this from the youth, but we need to now really try to engage the youth and not be afraid of the youth. So I really appreciate LaShawn being one of those ones that are championing the fact that we need to be intentional in reaching out to the youth and trying to wrap our arms around them so that we can find out what do they need so that we can prevent them from going to violence, and doing that before in a proactive way rather than a reactive way.
Absolutely. And
I have one more thing to say, Miss Jones. I want to jump
sure.
in on the week of healing. So we're creating safe space in partnership with the National Week of Healing and orchestrated a 2-week initiative aimed at empowering these youth and engaging them with education and community involvement, offering them the opportunity to contribute to society and earn a small stipend, along with getting community service hours for this 1 week event.
Yes, absolutely. And so that started yesterday. It's going to be going until Saturday. And you and Fernando and Chanel can kind of give us the wrap up in a moment about how people can find more information. But LaShawn, what else, or Miss Johns, I should call you, what else, if the mayor appointed you to be a key advisor for what should be done to support the youth, what are some of the things that would come to your mind to suggest?
First thing first, to be honest, Miss Johnny, is to get the kids in the room with the people who are making the policies, the laws and things like that, so they can really hear from them. And because it's them, it's the youth. So I really can't tell you what they need. They can. So my biggest thing is allow them to exercise their voice and support them and what they believe will help them.
Absolutely. And that is the purpose of this show, is to listen to the young people. You're absolutely right. And bringing the young people together takes some work. It's not, you don't just grab any old young people. You want to make sure you have a cross section, particularly of young people east of the river. Gary, anything else you want to add to what you said before? What would you suggest to the mayor? How could she listen to the young people?
I just wanted to piggyback off of Miss LaShawn because she actually gave me an opportunity this summer. She put us in the room, me and a few other youths, to exercise our voice with Summer Youth Employment Program. We were able to get us a summer job, and by using our voice, we were able to get paid $20 an hour.
Wow, that's something. And I want to bring back in Chanel and Damien. Do either of you or both of you have a question or a comment about what to advise the mayor about how to bring in the youth more?
Economic empowerment for me. As always, I feel like even if the youth are doing programming, no matter what they're doing, they should be getting paid to do it. And we need some healing houses in the city. We only got 16 beds in total for the whole city for mental health. So if they are in a mental health crisis, like they can't, either they getting locked up or they going to somewhere else. So, we need some of those across the city, John.
And explain to people what the healing house is.
It's just a place where you can come and you can, decompress. You can take a few days to heal. If you are struggling with addiction, you might can detox. You can, it'll be a place where you could go instead of having to go to a mental hospital, which have a lot of like negative things attached to it.
Absolutely. So,
and I did want to answer the question that Damien asked earlier about next steps as far as for the week of healing and like what that would look like. Because the platform was originally designed to give people who are doing organizing work a chance to, or doing healing work or whatever, a chance to like for us to come together and bring all of our resources and stuff together. So, moving forward, the platform is I really want to invite, elders that's been doing the work, that's been doing healing work, people that's been doing healing work for a long time, definitely want to pay homage and don't want to make it seem like we're doing something new. What we doing is definitely been going on. A lot of the community just don't know about it or is new to the community. So definitely want to invite, other healers that is doing the work into these spaces to lead the week of healing. So that way the organizations that are involved, they can all start to involve healing into what they're doing as well, because we have the most programs in the city, yet we fall short like any other city that don't have programs. So that's saying a lot about the state of our city.
Absolutely. And you're reminding me that in Baltimore, some young brothers put together a program to get yoga and meditation into many of the schools. That would be another great thing to do. And
yeah,
and Chanel, you could help organize that so that meditation would be taught in all the public schools. We just have about a moment left. Fernando or Gary, you want to give the last word about the Healing Week coming up, Fernando?
I'd just like to welcome everyone to come out and participate in all of the week-long events. It's a National Week of Healing, man, where we cover so many different grounds: incarceration, police brutality, women's health, grief, so many different things that are impacting our community that Chanel definitely, Chanel and all of the many different organizations that have contributed, man, definitely are coming together, to bring about this week of healing for our community. So I would suggest to reach out, touch in. We even have some virtual events that are going on that we're going to be implementing so that we can, show that different things are going to be going on. Even if you can't make it to the events, you can participate in it virtually.
And I want to do a shameless plug really quickly. If you have an iPhone, you can download the Healing Outlet, which is a new app that's coming to DC.
Oh, and we forgot I meant to talk to you about that we're going to have you back on again to explain to people what that is. But the national, what you can find out, listeners, about what's happening this week is going to NWOH.org, NWOH. And we want to thank everybody who's been on the phone. Special shout out to JENARI Mitchell as she travels to California tomorrow. Shout out to Gary Thomas, LaShawn Johns, and Fernando. And thanks, of course, to Chanel and Damien. We have Damien's going to help us right now before we leave today. Chuck and Damien are going to talk about the toy drive that Chuck does every year with an organization called Bread for the Soul. Many listeners donated books and toys, but this Friday and Saturday, those books and toys are going to be delivered. And I think Chuck needs a little help with drivers.
For listeners that would like to help volunteer, they can contact Chuck via text message or phone call. You can reach him at 202-421-8606. Or you can email him at mrblackhistory@yahoo.com. And again, his telephone number is 202-421-8608.
8608?
Yes, 202-421-8608.
Okay, and that Chuck needs help Saturday for drivers or people to ride with the drivers to distribute the toys throughout the city. So again, give Chuck a call, 421-8608. And thank you to everybody for joining us. Thanks to the great team with the organization that is putting on this wonderful week of healing. Thanks to Chanel. Thanks to LaShawn Johns. Thanks to Fernando, Gary, and of course to JENARI Mitchell. Thanks to Mari, who helps me out every week. And next week is going to be our last show of the year, December 18th. We're giving the engineers and staff a break, but we will be back with you next week. And again, those of you who can help out with the toy drive, please do. We're going to go out in a moment with a song. The information, again, about the help that Chuck Hicks needs is to call Chuck Hicks 421-8608, 421-8608, or MrBlackHistory@yahoo.com. This is for help to distribute toys and books to children in need, particularly children with families who have HIV/AIDS, with women who are in shelters. Chuck needs a little help to get those toys distributed. Also, to get information about the Week of Healing that the young people are putting on this week, you can go to nwoh.org, nwoh.org. We want everybody to take care. And again, I'm giving my dear friend Dory Ladner a big shout out. We're happy that she's back home. And we know that she is cheering the youth on, as we all are. We're going to go out with a special song by the Isley Brothers. This was my friend Damu's, one of his favorite songs, called When Are We Going to See a Harvest for the World? Everybody keep the faith and keep on listening.
A nation planted, so concerned